So no matter, we are just going to connect two systems for just data transfer, maybe process transfer, and I will cover some of the use case today, where I will try to give a demo from the low code and of course pro code tools. Okay, so I am Om Prakash, as intro happened already. Fortunately, I am a Salesforce MVP from class 2020. And I'm in the Salesforce ecosystem from 9+ years and with overall 11 years of technology experience, and really trying to learn something new with our community, and of course I'm trying to share. So just in my use case, what I am assuming, we have our Salesforce org that is our employee is using, and we also have one application running on Heroku and maybe running outside of Salesforce on any platform, and we have to transfer the data. Now, lots of APIs, REST APIs, SOAP APIs. Well, I talked connected app. Just a couple of minutes ago, MuleSoft session was going on. So, very important decisions. Which API we should use? Thanks to our sponsors. They are one of our core pillars for every event. Thank you very much. And of course, connecting multiple systems, I already shared. This is something agenda planned. Let's see what I can cover in next 20 minutes. I was talking about this. One is Salesforce, and one is some application running outside of Salesforce. And we have to transfer some data. We have to process some data. Okay, many ways. Suppose I have to travel Motihari today. I have many options. But what I will choose? Tomorrow is the event. I have to travel today, I can't go by road. Same here, we need to check which approach is best fit for the customers. Here, sometimes existing systems, sometimes, okay, timeline, what timeline we are going to follow. And here, we have very cool decision guide by the architect, Salesforce architect developer relation team. You can visit and you will find out a detailed study guide when to use which tools based on data volume, based on the current implementations, and very common questions we have. Who is going to play a role of client and who is going to play a role of server? When I have interaction with some beginners, there is many confusions. Okay, from where I am going to call out, and answer we can do from the either way. Maybe Java developer is going to write some logic. They are going to call out the Salesforce APIs, and maybe Salesforce developers are going to write the code, and we are going to call out the API. So here in the decision guides, we can ask the questions. Do you have already some services available? Answer is yes. Of course, we are going to call out from the Salesforce. Answer might be no, we don't have. Then we need to check what is better. How much data transaction needed? Maybe we have to follow synchronous approach or asynchronous approach, and based on that, we can take the decisions. Salesforce REST API. Very powerful APIs already given by Salesforce. So when I am talking with a Java developer or PHP developer, and they need to communicate with Salesforce developer just need to guide them with available resources, available standard REST API. Salesforce official documentation contains all those info, and just we can give them, and their developer, external developer can call out the API available in the Salesforce. Of course, they need to authenticate, and here for using the Salesforce REST APIs, we need to create one connected app, and we can give the access of the APIs via the auth to authentications. Okay, now I'm coming back. Now, Salesforce REST API is already available. External developer can call out. But we have more custom requirement. Let's say external developers are calling the API of Salesforce, and I have to find out the data from 3 or 4 tables. I have to perform some complex logic, and I have to do some custom logic. Maybe I have to send WhatsApp message, maybe I have to send some emails from Salesforce. That time, we developed the custom REST API. And it's very easy, just follow the annotation, REST resources, URL mapping equal to, I have given India remain REST service. This is unique for org, and very general Apex class, just global class name, and we are telling to this method at the rate HTTP GET, means when external developers will call this API, when they call this services, and when they will pass GET method, this method will execute, and in this method you can see just request. We are taking from REST context that request, response, and we are taking one event as parameter, and if event is India Dreamin, then just welcome. Okay, welcome to the India Dreamin. And this is just a high level view. We can have our logic here. We can export this API with the public access. They don't need to authenticate. Just go to site. On the site, we have public profile. Give the Apex class public access from there, and with the site, you can access that REST API with the URL services / Apex REST / India Daemon REST services, and you can see event equal to India Daemon. So okay, that's success. Welcome to India Daemon. Now, this is a very easy use case, just passing the event name, getting the greeting message. We don't need to worry for the authentication. But now, suppose we are going to access this API and we have some confidential data, and I say we have to update some data in Salesforce, then we can't give the public access. Then of course, we need to create one connected app, and with help of that connected app, what we can do, we can authorize. We guide Java developer or PHP developer, just follow the first URL, login.salesforce.com, auth to, pass your client ID and URL and response type code. Let's see quickly in the demo. Okay, so here is my URL. It will ask you to log into Salesforce. I am already logged in here. Here I am talking, some other developer outside of Salesforce, they are going to access our data with the authentication. So authentication is success. It's not asking username password because I have already logged in Salesforce in the same browser. You can notice indiademon.com.in code equal to this. Let's copy this code. And I have another URL handy here. Just we are passing again client ID, client secret, and we are giving this code here in this URL. And once I will access this URL now, with help of that code, access token and refresh token is here. This access token we can pass in our every call. Means Java developer or any other developer, they can pass this access token in the request header, and authentication will happen, and they can use the resources available in Salesforce. Now you can notice we have refresh token as well. What happened? Access token will expire. Then you don't need to follow again the authorization flow like generating the code. Just keep this refresh token safe somewhere and use this in your code, and with help of that refresh token, we can generate another access token. How? Let me copy this refresh token here. Okay. And here you can see in this URL, I hope it's visible. In this URL, just we are putting refresh token. Again, you can see grant type equal to refresh token. I am passing client ID, client secret, and then our refresh token. And with this URL, fresh access token will be generated. Let me open the Postman very quickly. And in every response we can see instance URL here, right? So earlier I was using public URL. Now with the instance URL of the org, I am going to use the same resource, means just our India daemon REST services and event equal to India daemon. Let me send, and now you will notice some error should come here. Session ID invalid, means I have not used this newly created token in my authorization body. Let me copy this access token and under the authorization type mirror, and here I will put my new token, and now it's success in the authenticated way. Once we will explain the same to any developer, they can easily write the same thing in their coding and they can communicate with the Salesforce in the authenticated way. This is something custom web services I have accessed. Earlier I was talking about the standard REST API, right? Let me copy this one URL for the standard REST API, because you can notice this is my custom, right? This is my custom service, India daemon REST services. I'm going to put my one sample standard API. And it should be here. Okay, and in response, it's coming from Salesforce. We can take any objects, we can describe their definitions, we can create the record in Salesforce, and we can play with the standard REST API in the Salesforce. Well, so, okay, now I'm just coming quickly on the call out side. Like here, I was assuming external developer was calling the API of Salesforce. Now, in this example, I am talking, as a Salesforce developer, I am going to call out the API available publicly on another system. And again, just basic HTTP call out. Ignore the future call out true. This is because I am calling this method from trigger. Main thing here, just creating the HTTP object and request object, setting the endpoint URL, and set the header, and just I am calling this out and response will come. So this is something call out. Good thing is, now in the beta, we can call out those HTTP APIs, those REST APIs directly from Salesforce flow. Just you need to create the named credential, and in the Salesforce flow, in the action, we have this option, new HTTP call out, and just define your named credential, and it will call out the external system automatically. So this is good for someone who don't love code. Okay, we have another no-code tools, outbound message, very popular, by the way, from the era of workflow. But as we know, in the Salesforce flow, this option is also available. Very easy one. If I show you quickly here, just create one outbound message. In the Salesforce, define the URL, the same URL I have used here, and in the Salesforce flow, just go to action and add the outbound action, and once your flow will run, outbound message will be called out. Well, so I know I am making confusion here because I'm talking lots of stuff quickly, but goal is you are going and you are going to explore in the details, right? You are going to call out, you are going to create services, and you are going to call out the outbound messages. Now, I'm coming outside of these REST APIs and those Apex services, Apex call out. We have Salesforce Connect. And here, something we are going to I'm not going to store data in Salesforce. Let's assume one use case. We have lots of data on external system. Just suppose on the Heroku application, we have millions of record, and I don't need those data to compete in Salesforce, but just I need those data in the view only, I can say. But we also have option to allow the write. Like once I will update something in my Salesforce, it will update on the Heroku. So here, with help of Salesforce Connect, we access the data in Salesforce, and data is not stored in the Salesforce. Heroku Connect, we have Salesforce, and our external application running on the Heroku. And what I'm going to do, suppose I have contacts, leads, accounts record in Salesforce, and just I need all those database schema details along with the data. Simply go to Heroku Connect, configure, and within minutes, all data will be copied to the Heroku Connect. Let's have a quick demo here. And good thing is that Heroku Connect is not count against the Salesforce API limits. So I have one Heroku app ready here. Okay. Here I have one app, India Event 23. I have two plugins. One is Heroku Connect, one is Heroku Postgres. So Heroku Postgres database there, and I have Heroku Connect plugin. After opening this Heroku Connect, you can see, I hope it's visible. You can see we have option under setting manage Salesforce. And from here, you can authorize your Salesforce. For saving our time, I have already done this authorization after clicking on this, and I am logged into this org, home.deo@appground.com. Let's go on mapping, and here, create mapping. Suppose I need contacts, records, and tables as well. Like in the Postgres, we need tables, and in Salesforce, we say objects, right? So here, let me choose the objects contact. Here is contact. And now, here is the option. If any changes happen in Salesforce, then after every 10 seconds, after every 10 minutes, or you can customize this time, call out will happen in Heroku and data will sync. If you want real time, then just mark this accelerate polling option true. And now let me choose some field. I am going to choose email ID. I'm going to say first name. Last name, and this is Salesforce to database, like Salesforce to Postgres. Here is database to Salesforce. I am changing something in Postgres, then I need this in Salesforce as well. Means if one application running on Heroku, some changes happen in the contact, then update the data in the Salesforce, then I need to choose this, and I need to define one external field here, one field that is marked as external key. I'm going to choose this employee number and just click save. Okay, you can see 9 fields mapped, 24 records already synced from Salesforce to this new database Postgres. If I go to explore option, you can see all records are visible here. If I go back to Salesforce, if I go to contacts, let me go to contact Om Prakash. Let me update this Om Prakash as, maybe let's add Om's, just S, Om's Prakash. I come back here. Once I will change something in Salesforce, then records will be updated, and you can see all record is available here. Well, moving ahead, I think I have last slide now. We have covered almost of these hands-on quickly, and some of the best practices. I will not take much time on this, but yes, before going for integration, define the clear goals, what we are going to achieve. As you can see, within minutes, we have covered 5+ different ways, right? And all is doing the same thing, transferring the data from one org to different org, right? But which is the best fit for our business? Similarly, which approach? We have MuleSoft already, right? We have Heroku Connect, we have discussed already. So which approach we have to choose? Then security measure and user adoption always needed. Suppose I'm going to tell my client I will take 6 months for developing the custom REST services and integrating A to Z. Another one is telling I can do with Heroku Connect in the 1 week. Why they will go for the 6-month projects? So these are some of the small, some best practices, and thank you very much. You can learn more with these telehealth modules, Apex integration service modules, and Heroku. and then we have some super badge for the data integrations. And once again, thank you very much. I'm really grateful you are here listening with me. Thank you.